welcome to the LCS. Today I'm joined by Kaizen High and Mark Z for our Sunday slate of games. You know, I can't believe that Tactical doesn't know what a Messiah is.
I forgot what a Messiah was.
I kind of forgot what a Messiah was as well.
If we're gonna be honest, that play wasn't that impressive or anything like that.
What? Okay.
Even back then, he was an impressive player. Like, his TF was clean, but that play itself, I never looked at that. I was like, wow, this guy's freaking sweet.
I'm offended.
I'm offended.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if that play wasn't sweet, why didn't you ever have a play named after you?
I don't know. I guess I'm not good enough. I don't know.
What would be the high? If you had to pick the high, what would it be?
I have this really good clip, actually, of me playing Gragas, where back in the day when his Q was instant and so was his R damage, so like you could like QR, I got like a double kill or something on Link and double if at the same time with QR. And I also did that against some player from Europe. Was it Expeke?
Was it with R-ing them
Reckles?
back into the Q radius?
Yeah, I like QR. I did that to Reckles and Expeke at the same time. I think I also did that to double.
Expeke, another guy who's got something named after him.
The best part of this is no one's gonna.
Sorry,
No one's gonna find this footage. You couldn't just lie.
I do have one.
No
Does
idea
that-
if this is true.
What?
Hey, does that thing?
What? The split pushing?
No, and hiding in the bush,
Yeah,
the Project Z. Someone just did that the
Ah.
other day in LPL, was it Twisted Fate that he was playing? He was playing something, and then he like ran through the bushes in the side lane of blue,
Yeah.
walked into the base, flashed over, dropped a ward, his teammates double TP'd into it, and then ended the game. So
Okay.
someone just did that, and then
Did
I got
they
tagged
shout-
in
did
it.
they shout,
We
I just
we
did the high.
We should find out
Maybe
who
not.
it was because we should name it that. Whoever it was. Well, as we
Wow.
jump into our first match of the day, it's Immortals versus CLG. I want to pull up our Samsung SSD Fast 5 leaderboards and check in on a few of the players that we'll be seeing take the Rift today. Raze, Destiny are the ones that jump out to me, the bot lane for Immortals.
Yeah, this is summer averages, and I think it's just surprising to see that he's the fastest 10K gold in general. And I think there's been a number of these huge pop-off games that he's had that, you know, it's not every single time, but you think back to when he got his mythic item at like 10 minutes for that, what was that game? You know, there's a number of these.
Guys, I'm pretty good at math, I'd like to say. I think I am.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, there are 8 NA players here out of the 15. Therefore, NA players invest in the talent. I could be wrong, but I think my math checks out.
Okay, well, I didn't do the math myself.
Yes.
So I'll take your word
Trust
on
my
it.
math.
Okay. Champion select for Immortals versus CLG coming up in just a moment. I am curious, Mark, when we talk about that bot lane, is Immortals going to go for the kind of Ziggs pick again? We've seen it flex to both Insanity and Raze in the bot lane. It has gone well, it has gone poorly. Where do we land on all that?
I mean, in general, I just think Ziggs is cool in the meta with its ability to bring AP, range, damage when you're picking so many melee focuses on the top side, and especially AD melee. So I think it's not powerful enough to deserve a ban, but it's strong enough that you often want to take it.
Is it me, or did they just zoom through those first 3 bans in under like half a second? It's like insta ban into insta ban into insta ban.
I would hope they have their bans pretty well prepped.
I mean, usually you'd wait a second after they do their first ban, right? To see like, hey, is it lined up with what we got? Or maybe they just have it on lock, like we know they're banning Zinza, so boom, we counter it with this ban.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, clearly it is strong enough to be banned.
Clearly, I don't know what I'm talking
So
about.
take that,
I'll go.
sire.
I'll be back later.
And I think part of the perspective from CLG is this just limits the flexibility that IMT has in draft. You know, one of the nice things about Ziggs is that obviously he's sort of like an AP marksman in that he gives you sieging ability and he still allows you to pick more AD in the solo lanes. So IMT as a team that tends to pick a lot of melee in solo lanes is now a bit limited more in draft. So I like the ban for CLG.
Also, a thing with Ziggs is generally if a bot laner picks Ziggs, they're kind of saying that they're not gonna win lane. He's very passive, it's very hard to lose lane on Ziggs. So when you see those like tournaments like Twitch Rivals and stuff like that, a lot of the lower tier bot laners will pick Ziggs and stuff so that they can just avoid the action laning phase. So if you ban it out on them, they can't avoid lane phase and then actually have to 2v2 you with an actual champion.
Square up.
Yeah, like, get ready to
I want to see CLG pick Kalista here, actually. I think this is a team that generally likes to draft a lot of engage. And thank you, CLG.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is a pick that doesn't necessarily lock them into press R, and playing bongo, but generally, Wild Turtles look pretty proficient on the pick, and it gives them many different engage options if they decide to pivot to full engage.
We were, it was like me, High, and Azale hanging out in the green room before this, and we were just going through like champion CSD at 15 on average and being able to get matchups.
Across the world.
Yeah, across the world, all leagues, Games of Legend, good job showing us this. Kalista was the highest champion in lane that we could find that has any substantial amount of games. It was 12.9 on average, and all of the matchups were winning. And we were like, Wait, is Kalista just giga busted? I mean, we know she's highest priority AD carry already, but it's like,
Right.
is she even higher priority?
Marks was like, if I'm drafting for a team, I'm showing them these stats. I'm first picking Kalista.
I'm making them play
CLG
Kalista
just
every
did this.
game. Yeah.
Maybe Mark's a genius, and we're just mistaken all along.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, okay?
We're counting our chickens before they hatch, not like this.
Yeah.
I also like the Diana, just like when Ziggs gets banned out and AP becomes a bit difficult to work in the team comps, I think Diana is just so phenomenal for being able to be a threat, engage, AP, and a strong jungler all in one that I'm surprised that it was even taken out, or Viego was taken over it.
Man, what a world we live in when the mid laners have yet to be picked, and we're like, oof, it's hard to get AP into this composition.
They got Gwen though, so there you go.
How are we gonna do it? Where can we possibly find AP?
Yeah.
Hey, Viego could still be the mid laner, you know? We don't know.
Is this
Could
true?
be, yeah.
Technically, Gwen could be too. I think I've laned versus
Gwen
a few.
top, Gwen
It hasn't
jungle.
done very well, but I think it's a thing.
Yeah, and this is basically a bog standard IMT draft. You know, you have two picks that are very flexible. You know, both of these champions in Gwen and Viego can be flexed into the jungle. And I actually really love the Leona takeaway from CLG because we've seen a lot of Leona-Diana combos. Leona presses a setup CC that Diana then needs to engage. I don't know that I like this Galio pick.
Is
though.
it support Galio or mid Galio though? Because Demonte is one of the people I could see actually taking it to the mid lane.
It's a little.
I think it's more likely to be support, but
I think it's flexible right now because you don't know what the actual solo lanes are for IMT, and CLG hasn't picked either technically yet with the fact that there's so much flexibility. So there could be a world where Finn's gonna have this counter pick that's really snowball focused, and then you want the Galio mid because it's able to get up to the top side more. But if you're playing kind of more standard matchups, I don't really love Galio if you don't have a very intentional win con with it, like the buy before. So then I'd probably rather see it support.
okay.
I think CLG should probably last ban Kaisa here. I hope they do. One, they're dropping a ban on AD carry in the first place. I like it better when they do a double ban onto AD carry. And IMT has a pretty hardcore dive comp right now, and they really want Kaisa. I don't see another AD carry that they'd like as much as that. The laning phase isn't the greatest against Kalista, if I'm gonna be honest, but no one really has a strong lane phase against Kalista unless you're picking like a Caitlyn, and even then you can get all in. So I'd like to see a Kaisa ban. If not, I think IMT will pick it.
Yeah, the only thing I would push back on high is I think Draven actually does have a pretty good matchup into Kalista, which is why CLG picked it. Draven's been seeing a lot more popularity in, for instance, LEC, and part of the reason why is because he actually got buffed slightly a few patches ago, and now with Kalista as a short range, you know, lane dominant carry.
Draven beats everyone in lane, let's be real.
Yeah, that's true. So that's why CLG's removing that from the table,
But LeBlanc then?
And Raze is also a Draven player. He has played it in the past a couple times. Not yet this season, but we saw it last split, I believe. Tristana mid.
So it's Galio support though.
I mean, could still be
support,
Tristana
or-
top. You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
True.
Who's playing
Tristana was another one of the champions that had a pretty solid CSD when we were going through all those champions today.
She was like 6.8 or something.
Yeah,
like
it's
that, right?
around 5 or
I think the highest for mid lane actually. Her and the Zero were the two highest that we could find.
So it's beginning to be a little bit of a weird draft though for CLG now, where you have two people who want to go in. Kalista can support that, but then Tristana a little less. So I'm curious to see what they're gonna do to round the
Not if you
comp
play
out
like
together.
Danny.
Yeah.
Well, I think the great thing about Galio is that, yes, he can follow up, but he also like prevents some people
Right.
getting in, right? Like if you dive the backline and Galio taunts you, you're gonna have a really bad time. So he's pretty flexible in that regard. So it shouldn't be, they can do whatever they want, honestly.
A Syndra pickup. Could go bot. Hopefully not.
I hope not. Yeah. I would actually like to see
I definitely hope not.
I'd like my sim just to stay mid, please.
Okay,
Yeah.
Varus makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think the Varus makes a lot more sense. And, you know, overall, I'm still struggling with CLG drafting the Galio this early. Like, this is not a super high priority pick. You know, they have options to counter pick in solos, and I just feel like they could have retained a little bit more draft flexibility. There are other supports available, like Nautilus. So they could have just left this into the last pick.
Well, they only get one counter pick regardless.
Where's the
anyway,
Tom
right?
Kench?
So they can't.
Yeah, Kench is busted.
Yeah. Well, he's busted into melee, right? And I think as Blazal said yesterday, he's kind of a situational pick. You know, if you wanted to pick Tom Kench, then you kind of have to worry about, you know, if I'm forced into mid, am I in a range matchup like versus a Syndra? But I agree, unbench a Kench. I want to see it as much as possible.
I don't want to see that. I mean, obviously you have to have played him, right? Like, what mid laners have played Tom Kench? I don't play Tom Kench.
Is that true, though?
Even with the changes.
Do you need to have played him?
to have played Tom?
He's easy to play, sure, but he is changed, and his damage values change, right? You need to know when you can kill or live, etc. So it does help.
All right, what's the verdict on these compositions at the end of the day?
I mean, the GP last pick does play well into Gwen, and I think it does play to highest point about the fact that Galio can play back. GP is also that way. The ultimate allows you to stop people from coming in, or if you're actually diving, you can just shoot that on top. So
I predict CLG to win this game based on team comp.
Wow.
Ooh.
That's my bet.
Hi, you're giving me hope.
I'm betting on it. Well, I can't actually bet.
Hope is a
but
dangerous
my
thing.
pride. I'm betting my pride.
Hope is a dangerous thing. You
Yes.
feeling good about CLG's comp, Carson?
I do. I'm still kind of.
I think they scale
I
a
have too
lot
much
better.
trauma from CLG's play.
Right.
But overall, I think this is a comp that they look comfortable on. I think Finn is a really good gangplank, and I think overall, this is the kind of comp that they should feel really, really comfortable running.
On the flip side, I give Immortals more power picks in the current meta. Like
Gotcha.
in general, Gwen, Viego, Varus, and these kinds of things are all very strong right now. So I still feel pretty good about their draft.
Alrighty, well the draft is locked in. The players are loading onto the Rift. Freak and Azael are standing by for the call of our very first game, Immortals versus CLG.
Thank you very much, Dash, and welcome to the caster desk. Azael, what am I saying next?
Nothing.
I'm Freak, that is Azael. Together, we are the Doug Duo,
You
and
can't
welcome.
keep getting away with it.
Of course I can. That is us. One day they'll Photoshop it into, you know, a made-up Pokemon. In the meantime, though, we have ourselves some LCS. Don't mind the bars on the side. It's fine.
It is fine. Hopefully.
It's
there's
a
not
chrono
doesn't-
break UI.
Does not mean catastrophic failure is imminent.
Yeah.
I'm pretty interested with these two drafts, right?
Bam.
Looks fixed, saved. All right.
Saw nothing.
I really do actually like the CLG draft a lot. I do think that, you know, compositionally they are in the advantage, but they've also won one of their last 11 or 12 games. So, you know, they have to be able to execute. But when I look at Dive plus GP and I'm playing a low mobility champion, like if I was playing the Varus or the Syndra, I would be terrified. GP drops the ult on your head, you're slowed down, Diana flies in, Galio follows up. Like that is so hard to escape from. And when I'm playing these types of champions, low mobility against that sort of dive with the setup of GP, you basically generally feel like I need flash or I die. So that can kind of limit when and where you can fight. Of course, with the exception being, if you just slam them in lane, doesn't really matter. You get enough ahead, it doesn't become relevant. But I do think CLG have set themselves up well. At the same time, there are some powerful picks over on the IMT side. You know, Viego, Varus, Gwen, all considered pretty powerful in the meta. And it's interesting to see that it is actually the Ghost Gwen instead of the Ignite. So, you know, you can punish more easily in a longer lane. You know, if GP is over pushing, there's more of the ability to actually, you know, chase him down, even with the Trial by Fire movement speed proc, with a barrel slowing you down. Sometimes that doesn't even matter if you are playing Ghost, but of course you are missing out on that healing debuff from the Ignite, and you're missing out on the actual damage itself. So it needs to be more of that chase down scenario where GP is over pushing to threaten the all-in.
For sure. But hey, keeping in range is a big deal because getting the auto attacks is how you get your recast of your ultimate. Getting auto attacks is how you get the bigger Q damage. So it's going to be something to watch for as he tries to keep in range. And by the way, if you would rather watch in Spanish, check out FlyQuest's Spanish co-stream at twitch.tv/FlyQuest. Meanwhile, a fight in the bottom lane, Turtle already at 100 HP. And Destiny starts the better of the fight. And Turtle is out of potions and almost out of health. Well, not out of potions, I suppose. He does have 3, so he can trade it back up. But both 80 carries went with 3 potions, and as he sustains back up, he'll be much lower on that.
Yep, I mean, he is going biscuits as well, so very heavily into this sustain. This has just become so popular these days. People going for that longsword start, especially against poke champs, can be really valuable. And when you're playing Kalista, you kind of have to stay healthy enough to threaten the all-in. That's generally how you win your lanes or get advantages, even if you don't kill them, threatening them, making them miss out on that farm, but it's looking like a dive.
Caught out in the jungle, down to 1 auto attack away, but Xerxes may have overextended, has flash already burned on the Viego, smites for health, and now Tristana is on the hunt. Demonte, gotta watch out for that blast plant though. Xerxes gonna be able to use it to get away, no kill to be found. Raze out of summoners, Ignite down on Destiny, no flash on Xerxes. CLG getting the better of the answer on that invade.
Yeah, they have a pretty good answer, but at the same time, Brox actually loses bot Crab. And with the push on top side, maybe you can just go crab to crab because Insanity is pushing here, so it could turn out to be a positive play here from Xerxes, and we'll see if he wants to try to go straight up for it.
First TP used as Finn's already got himself his early Sheen. That's really early on. Yeah, should indeed only be after the first few waves. We see wave 6 crashing right now, if I have my count correctly, so that is, I believe, Futures Market Tech. You know, gotta shout out that that's been getting more and more common. It is an underrated rune. I know LS is one person who's been giving it a lot of praise, and I think wisely so. It often tops win rate charts when you look at like solo queue data,
Yeah.
but it's so rarely picked, and stuff like this is why. It's like, oh, I got a Sheen faster than literally could have been possible. With
Yep.
perfect farm, I can't get Sheen yet, but now I have it, so now I have lane control.
And I mean, I think the other thing, like, that is a great point, and I think even on top of that, it's great to remember that sometimes you don't get to base on perfect situations, right? And this often saves your buy in those situations where you get forced back early, you can scrounge something together, and when you're looking for these breakpoints like Sheen or an early lost chapter, champions that are very dependent on getting that first initial buy to have power, greatly benefit from the futures market, so definitely something worth experimenting, can be quite nice.
Alrighty, so check out the game state right now because no one has killed. We've had trades of farm. Revenge getting his recall stopped a couple of times, but finally going for the TP back. Should have around 800 gold. See what he buys out of that one, if it's cloth armors or nope. Okay, gonna be just the ability power stack and some consumables to keep his health bar decent. But top is pretty equal. Jungle, despite the scuttles and whatnot, they're still trading camps about appropriately. Mid lane, it's a temporary lead to insanity, but Demonte will answer that one, so they're both going to be about 40. But it does mean that Tristana got the early recall off, right? Is on Noon Quiver. That's going to feel really good. That's what you get out of starting Longsword as well, is, well, you get to get a cheaper Noon Quiver, so that's nice. Bot equal, support equal, off we go. Pretty close game.
Yep, looking pretty even in all regards. Double tier over on the Immortals side, so going to be stacking those up here pretty early. And with the Vamp Scepter coming through from Turtle, I kind of expect the lane to start getting better. You know, the early sustain there going to help a lot against Varus, who is pretty reliant on the poke. And I want to see if CLG can get down and actually punish Raze, who's without his flash. You know, he is a low mobility champion. You do have flash available both on your support and your Kalista. Your jungler can be called down, and that's something that I think you can punish. If Raze pushes out whatsoever, it's pretty difficult to actually avoid those types of plays as Varus.
And we've got the power differential right now. Finn has hit level 6 on Gangplank. Neither top laner has teleport. Only one of these players, one of these champions, can influence mid or bot without walking all the way over. So is there a bot dive? Hey, look, it's Demonte and Broxa. There is, in fact, a bot dive. Raze does not have a summoner spell to cast, and Raze will go down. They saved the GP ult. I'm actually glad they did so, because they might find a repeat fight somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, he was dead to rights. There's no shot he's going to be safe. There's no teleport on either of the solo laners. There's no flash on him. You don't need to overcommit and use that GP ulti. So smart stuff there. And that's one of the things that you always want to see from teams. Punish missing summoners. That is the basics at this level. You've got to track the summoners and abuse these champions that are low mobility, can be easily taken out. A nice little freeze here from Destiny. Honestly, should have just stayed where he was. He actually had it frozen perfectly, and now he kind of ruined it. But maybe they decided to push out. In that case, maybe it makes sense. But honestly, you could have just held that out and gotten your AD a couple more minions, even if you wanted to push.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, either way, on kind of either side of it, it was a slight misplay, but we'll check out the dive real quick. First, it's a 4v1. I'm sorry, Raze.
Yeah, and Destiny's smart here to just leave. There's no flash on your Varus, so there's no ability to like outplay the taunt and then have the Leona peel and turn something around. There's no shot of living there, so just back it up, give that one death over, see what else you can get done.
Not quite the trial by fire, but gets the cooldown back thanks to his Kindle gem and just spams the Qs with Grasp. Stacks up the points. Gangplank has been a very common counterpick into Gwen. So far, so good for Finn as he keeps putting the damage across. Revenge low on sustain. The Doran shield and now out of refillable potion charges. That could hurt. But hey, CLG, they got first blood, right? In terms of riding the ship, they are not out of contention. They are, I believe, 3 games behind FlyQuest at 8th. That's the bar for playoffs right now. Make up 3 wins across the next 7 games. Of course, they're also, hold on, more fights the bot side. Ulti's coming across. Big taunt. Down goes Raze. Next up, going to be Destiny. Pulled back in by Broxa, and the shield is not going to be enough. Final shot comes in. Wild Turtle gets his 2nd kill. CLG 3-0.
They're off to a great start here. Closing in on a 2,000 gold lead at this point with, I think, a compositional advantage. So CLG looking good. We'll see if they can continue playing with this pace. It looks like they maybe are going to set up for this dragon. Definitely think they could go for it since bot lane just was killed off, but Broxa not really caring to do so. And I do think this is something when you are playing Kalista, when you are playing through that bot lane and you are playing more of an early game, lane-focused, powerful champion that can help to secure these objectives, you should be stacking that, utilizing that as a win condition. You're playing from a place of power right now, so look to continue it. Instead, they will try to move up towards this top side, and they want to challenge a Herald.
Okay, here we go. Finn takes his stun, eats oranges, walks away, but the damage coming across, and despite CLG being unstopped in terms of kills, it is likely Immortals. Autosmite gets it. There you go. It is Immortals who are unanswered in neutral objectives. Now, this Herald will not answer a 2,000 gold lead, but it is surprising to see that happen when CLG have extra gold in every single lane.
Yeah, but to me, it's like, why did you even go up to challenge when you're missing GP ulti, you're missing Diana ulti, you know, you're don't even have the ulti available yet here for Smoothie. He's not level 6. Kallista's staying bot.
Yeah.
You're not going to fight. You're not going to win that. So
Yeah.
why not just take the free dragon on the bottom side? And this is an example of one of these things that CLG has been struggling with, right? Yeah. It's like, we are strong. We must contest. You're not taking into consideration the cooldowns you have. You're not taking into consideration what you could actually trade. You could have just had Broxa solo the dragon, Smoothie stay bot, use zone raise off farm, take plates instead, and now all of a sudden you've gotten a guaranteed advantage there. Instead, they move 4 people up to a fight they can never challenge for, and they didn't get the dragon.
This is the kind of stuff why CLG was making roster changes. And I know that the delivery was not great from Tafo for everyone who watched that video, but it's like, yeah, CLG are playing the worst League of Legends in the LCS. That's been true for the entire summer split, so that's why changes are being made. It is a bit less about the 1-2 record back in week 5 or week 6, but it's like, well, the results are because you're not playing too well and things like this, where it's like, somehow CLG still don't have a dragon. Somehow they lost Rift Herald. Somehow they haven't done anything with a 3-kill lead. That is why it's happening. It's unfortunate to see, but they're going to still try to keep going. Again, they are not out of this game. They are in fact in the lead.
A great spot.
It just sucks to see mistakes that are preventable, right?
Absolutely.
From pro players who absolutely could and should know better. So we'll see if Immortals can fight back. We'll repeat the playoff story briefly. CLG, again, 3 points out of playoffs. Immortals, though, have a 4-game lead over Golden Guardians, who are 9th. Immortals are getting closer to locking their spot in the postseason, who have had some real moments of greatness, especially in the summer split here, as they move on to their 16-22 record and look towards their postseason soon. And Demonte still in mid, trading farm with Insanity. Right now, Insanity up about 10 CS, though. Has not gotten himself into a kill, and no one on Immortals has, but still farming at a good clip on the Syndra mid.
Farming well there. And stacking up the tier as well. It's going to be interesting to me, you know, what Immortals is actually trying to play through. Because so far, Xerxes has basically just been farming, right? You know, he did move down towards bot. There was that one threat of a dive where he then backed off. But, you know, barring that, they haven't really put any pressure on. So Immortals, it feels like, are largely unconcerned about the pace of the game. You know, if CLG are not going to threaten the kind of win conditions of things like the Dragons, maybe Immortals are feeling like they have a compositional advantage. They're seeing it a different way than I do. But it has been very passive thus far. And, you know, GP is sitting in a very comfortable spot. You know, we have yet to see Revenge really go aggressive. We've yet to see Viego move up towards that side. So I'm kind of curious to see when Immortals will pull the trigger and try to make some more aggressive plays.
Well, Herald timer halfway done. So under 2 minutes, I'm going to say, when they finally push somewhere and look to crash in. The hope being an entire chirp, but they have yet to take a single plate, so it's unlikely to get more than just 320 gold off the Herald charge. But hey, that's still 320 gold. It's still a couple of mini-waves worth of extra money, and that can help a little bit. Finally, at 12 minutes into the game, CLG have taken their first dragon of the game. So on pace for 27 minutes, if my math is correct, on Dragon Soul.
Yeah, sounds about right there. At that point, I don't think it'll be as relevant. We may see the game go long, but you know they are playing from a pretty significant advantage. We'll see if they can continue to extend this. Turtle, obviously really strong at this point, does have the cleanse to stay safe. He's completed the shield bow, has his tier 2 boots, so you know, he is one of the strongest members on the map. The Gale Force has come through as well. So I'm expecting CLG to try to contest pretty much any of these 5v5s that they can, but now they're going on top side.
All right, aggressive play in the top, pretty good damage onto Finn. Gonna be able to walk away pretty healthy. Had to burn his flash, of course. Revenge did not need to ghost, it seemed. But now as Herald is summoned, this will almost certainly get the charge. They'll share a turret plate each, and we'll see if Revenge can get more done afterwards. Brock's coming over, though, knows that, you know, with the Rift Herald, you might go for more, and now they're going to find him out. 2v2 could be imminent as they trade damage back and forth. There's the charge, and it's Immortals walking away. Brock's in the right place to prevent any more than that getting done. So in sum total, 420 gold is earned from the Rift Herald, 320 from the plates, and 100 from killing it, and that is the sum total of that play earlier.
Yeah, not too bad, and we didn't see Syndra moving up towards the top side, so I don't think they're ever really going to commit to that dive. Once you see it's the 2v2, it's pretty darn difficult to actually dive Finn, who still had his ultimate available. And I actually like the early flash in that situation. If you know you're going to have to use it, just use it early, keep yourself healthy so that you can then stay around to defend any push that is coming right after it. But on the bottom side, CLG are getting work done in this 2v2.
Yeah.
You fall behind as the Varus in this matchup against someone who's heavy on sustain.
Comes in, Demonte's going to survive it.
Yeah, he's chilling.
Yeah. Went for Gale Force, which is the very standard option, especially when you are against limited tank line, which in this case is only Leona, so sure. Obviously, the mobility can be nice. I don't think he's going the Maw, but if you had gone Shieldway, you couldn't also go Maw of Immortals in case you need to build against Syndra. But he is building the MR. That's maybe Merc Treads, it's maybe Hex Drinker. I'm not sure which way he goes, but I think both make sense.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably Mercs. You know, it's possible he goes both, but given that there's Leona, Varus, there is obviously the stun for Viego as well. You know, generally if there's CC mid plus Leona, I see almost every professional mid laner go Mercs because they are concerned about the potential of Roam and then just that full 100-0 lockdown. So probably just be Mercs, and then I'm guessing he'll go into more of just the standard kind of DPS style build, Phantom Dancer, that sort of look. But we will see, and Triforce now done here for Finn, so a little bit more attack speed than some of the other builds. It can be stronger, I think, in some situations when it's more about the dueling. If you're scrapping it out with a melee champion, sometimes that attack speed can be quite valuable.
Yeah, Turtle is rich. 4 turret plates taken the bottom side. And yeah, we'll see which way the builds keep progressing, as it is Wit's End coming through for Wild Turtle. I think that is an outstanding option overall. It's been really, really common for Kalista's second item, and it suits everything really well. Again, it's MR against Gwen and Syndra. It's just a good DPS item in general. It's just a very strongly tuned item. So it makes a lot of sense to buy that one out. Xerxes going to grab himself a blue buff steal. Cool, good job. Destiny was there for a bit of help. Couple of deep wards, one control ward in the brush, and then the regular trinket ward right above that one.
My main question right now is just, does Immortals actually contest at the next Dragon, right? Because I think CLG 100%, you should show up for the Dragon on spawn. You should be ready to go. You're playing from a lead. You have this kind of powerful composition ready to fight. And it just becomes, does Immortals try to contest that 5v5? Do they try to trade for a tower on the top side of the map? Because that feels like the next real point that these two teams could be contesting each other.
Here we go, 58 seconds. It's CLG walking down the river first. This is kind of the reset timer. Hit B if you haven't by this point in time. That way you can fight for rewards. CLG. And this is, by the way, the benefit of recalling a little early. Is they're full health, full mana. They've recently shopped, and there are rewards in the opposing jungle. That is what you gain out of it. It's not as well, we got to the river in time. We're ready to fight for the dragon. It's like, no, no, no. We know that they're walking towards the dragon already. We know it's available to these folks. It's not going to be a problem. I will say Demonte hasn't shopped in a fair bit. He's actually been several waves out in the map, probably about 1,000 gold in inventory. Ultimately, he's going to miss his recall timing, but going to play for pressure instead. First turret is his. No one's answering bot lane at all, which I find a little surprising. It's been 2 waves, but they've moved Revenge finally to this side of the map. They move Insanity top. By the way, Insanity with no TP means theoretically there should not be a contest for Dragon. They're trying to cross-map. Finn identifies it. I got to say, it's probably ward control from his team making it happen, and does not get dove.
Yeah, so he's not going to get dove. You know, I agree. It's a little bit surprising that they're not going to try to defend the tier 1 on bot side at all. But if they want to commit to the top side play, they'll at least be trading something back. Of course, it's still in the favor of CLG because they are getting Dragon plus tower. And it's also solo gold on Tristana, which nowhere really more valuable that you could actually put it. Getting solo experience, solo gold on Tristana, always so valuable, increasing your range with the passive. You know, dumping that gold in. It is Merc Treads plus Zeal, so probably PD coming out next.
The longsword.
Yep, I like the build here from Demonte. It makes a lot of sense, and just I think Immortals look like they want to try to focus on getting these side lanes into a good position, and we'll see if we can ever find that all in from Revenge, because it has been largely that passive lane up there. We saw his flash forced once, but with the Riftmaker completed, with tier 2 boots, Ghost as well, if you can get GP in this long lane, you should be able to run him down and look for some heavy pressure.
He guessed which way Turtle would juke. He went left, he aimed right. It would have been a cleanse forced at most, but nice try by Raze, doesn't get anything.
Yeah, unfortunate there, as it will go wide. Looks like CLG just moving up towards that top side, trying to get vision here for a potential next Herald, or even just setting up, you know, to maybe threaten that top lane tower. They're clearly playing heavily on this side of the map. Finn is playing weak side right now, and as a result, he's being really defensive. He's just going to back it up, move up towards his team, and we're seeing Revenge have to move over here as well, as it may be a 5v5.
Almost gone, but not quite. It will be defended. Xerxes feels safe to walk up, but now Revenge ghosts to run away. It looks like Finn cut him out with a barrel initially, and it was like, okay, just kidding, no fight for me.
And I think if you thought that was isolated, you don't care about the initial barrel, you can actually take the fight. But because Galio is there, right in mid lane, you cannot take a fight and expect it to be that 1v1. The Galio would come through.
Yep.
Cleanse
Proper cleanse.
force there, nicely done by Turtle, and small advantages gained here from CLG. They get turret damage down in the mid lane, but Immortals had enough people there that CLG couldn't actually step forward and finish it off. But as a result, top lane not covered. They're TPing deep behind, though. They're going to try to get some sort of a play.
Now he knows. Revenge. Does he have the damage? Buster shot doable. Yep, after the second W. He cannot play it any differently. Stand in the circle, press R. You learn the champion. Turns out some good counterplay available. So nicely done by Demonte. TP comes in and he gets away with it.
That felt like a very optimistic TP to me. That starts to feel a little bit desperate if no one else is there to set you up. I fail to see how you would ever kill Demonte. You know, it's like you don't even have your ulti. You use that in the bot lane, right?
Yeah, true.
So it's like you're just going to kill this guy with basic attacks who has Rocket Jump, Gale Force, Flash, and Ultimate available. Like, I don't see it.
Yeah, true. End of the day, I know he had teammates coming nearby, but he's not gonna lock him down. There's no way Demonte takes the ego 1v1. It's like, the Gwen TP'd on me. Just fight. Who cares? I don't have wards. Like that, yeah. So, valid point. It was optimistic. Revenge gets something for the teleport, and Immortals are just kind of sitting languishing. Again, they got Rift Herald. It's not a perfect game, even if it all goes pear-shaped from here. That's not going to be a mark against them, but certainly CLG still scaling with the marksman. Phantom Dancer is done. No surprises there. There's a world where Mortal Reminder was an option. There are 2 self-healers on Immortals. I don't think you really ever go for it on Trist, but could have been a thought. Maybe that changes one day.
Yeah, we're seeing the Collector come through here from Finn. So very burst-heavy build. It's a largely squishy opponents that you're actually looking to go for. It's mostly about getting that damage down on the Syndra, on the Varus as well. So, you know, you ult on them, you try to go for the follow-up. Immortals has got to make side lane plays. They've got to make something happen because they're just bleeding out of this game. They are falling further and further behind. It's a 4,000 gold lead now. 2 straight Dragons have gone to CLG. They didn't get that first one very early, so the soul is still a ways away. But, I mean, CLG is well and truly in the driver's seat, and Immortals have had nothing to say about it. You know, there's been a half-hearted play or two where they kind of semi-tried to engage, but mostly they've just allowed CLG to do whatever they want, and that's just not the way to win League of Legends.
Yeah, and time is ticking. We are 6 minutes away from a CLG Infernal Soul. The gold lead's only grown since the first Dragon's been taken. It's now a 4,000 gold lead to CLG. Well done to them to keep being in the right places. Demonte's split push has earned a lot of money. It's 3 turrets to 1. That kill score has not moved from the beginning of the game, but CLG has still gotten more done since then. The crossfire plays of Immortals have not really worked out. As the 5 of them come through mid lane, this time looks like they are ready to fight for it. Control ward comes down, Sweeper comes out, another control ward looking to get rid of the vision of CLG. Destiny happy to face check this ward. Gonna make it happen.
Oh, it's gonna be tough, man, to try to face check into this. Like, I feel like they know they need to force. They're just losing the game, so they're gonna try something here.
Okay, they're gonna try. Doesn't find the stun on Abraxa. Barrel lands on a Revenge. Second one not quite gonna get that one. They get the scuttle now on CLG's side. Everyone is around this river. Everyone wants this fight. Smite and Flash up for both junglers. They're both 900. That's been changed for a while, so equal chances there. The question is, can the rest of your damage come up alongside it? CLG start, and Immortals are the ones to flinch. They could not get into the river, and it is Dragon number 3 claimed by CLG. Immortals try, they did not succeed. They push in mid. This should be some damage, but I feel like CLG should be willing to take the fight. They have the gold, there's the GP ult, there's the slow, but no Diana dive. Just the wave, keeping the turret, and an ulti of pretty low consequence as they wait for Infernal Soul in 4.5.
Does defend the turret for them, and they're on the bottom side, right? This is what they're getting elsewhere. They didn't have to force because Demonte's pushing here. He's going to, at the very least, deny some of these minions. Revenge, of course, moved down quickly, so that was kind of the call, is that Demonte's pushing bot. We just defend mid. We're fine. Use the GP ulti for that. More CDR being purchased up now as well by Finn as he grabs the call field. So CLG looking good. I mean, they're not on a timer. I felt like from the word go, they had the advantage with the better draft, with the better composition. Immortals have not pushed them really whatsoever, have not been willing to force a fight. And when they show up to that third dragon, they don't have vision on it. So you're face checking into Finn. He's landing some good early barrels. And if you just straight up run right in, well, you're going to get jumped on by the Diana plus the Galio here. And I think it's going to be pretty difficult as a result. Demonte's mom supporting him there. Nice to see.
It's nice to see. Demonte's going to have the highest winner of any CLG member after this game. Should be 50-50 afterwards. Good job, if they can close it out, of course. But good plays. Has been, again, a key part of the split push, has been most of the turret destruction, but credit still goes to CLG's bottom lane for basically the big counterpunch they had when Broxa got kind of dove on, and it's been uphill since with the summoners down. They found the dives, they brought down the rest of the team. Turtle not going to be attacked, just going to claim a wave safely, going for a single target build. No Hurricane, but the early Rage Blade instead. Doesn't think he's going to be hitting a lot of frontliners, just maybe one at a time. Q's gets away, and no one's hitting him. Pretty high CS, though, 282 at 24 minutes. That man has been untouched, just farming waves to his heart's content.
I mean, 60 CS up on Raze, right? You know, that is concerning. The Varus has not been as safe to move around the map, has not been able to pick up as much farm as a result. They do have a CS advantage in mid lane, but of course that's not equaling things out. Both junglers are very even as far as that goes, but, you know, really, I just... The pressure is on. I cannot overstate it for Immortals. They've got to get something done. It's like they've shown that they're not really capable of 5v5ing. They're not willing to hard commit to that. If you don't do something in this next 2 minutes, that's your last option, is just show up to that one fight and hope that you can kind of win it. So it's like at a certain point, you've just got to be willing to take some risks. Yeah, there's not a guaranteed plays that CLG is giving you, but you're guaranteed to lose the game if you do nothing. So you got to pick your moment here.
Yeah, I like thinking through this one, right? So right now, I think Immortals probably like 20% they win the game. Just like in the current game state, like you take a fight, it's odds aren't
that's
great.
Maybe optimistic.
Maybe. As soon as CLG gets Infernal Soul, it's like, okay, well, that's 10%, right? Your odds have cut in half. So unless you think CLG are going to make a catastrophic mistake post-Infernal Soul, where it's like, oh, well, they screw up Baron so hard that, like, this is now a 50-50 for us. It's like, oh, well, then I guess you can wait for that. I don't think that's correct, but, like, that would have to be your mind state if you give Dragon away. It's like, they'll screw up harder, worse later. But they haven't shown that, right? CLG have shown patience. They haven't gotten a kill in literally 20 minutes. But they're taking your turrets down, and they're going to grab this, you know, they grab the second Rift Herald, they're going to grab their fourth and final Elemental Drake.
Yeah, and I mean, I think if you're on the Immortal side, I mean, they may just, to be fair, have a very different read than me. You know, I do think CLG is very favored as far as the drafts go. If your read is different than that, if your read on the Immortal side is we have late game, then okay, you're chilling. But the Baron has been started up. It's a Rage-Bait Callista. This is going to go down so fast, and they're just not even stopping their base, so they're just giving that too. Viego just now stops the base. It's way too late. It's just going to get rended and smited. It's gone.
Almost certainly. It's going to hold the attention. There you go. Ren's at 1,300. That is a claim. That is CLG's, unless someone gets caught out. And Revenge will... The shields! Ah, Smoothie. You got a flash, bud. Just flash. Okay, doesn't have to. Just taking it back. A Wild Turtle was there. He was a homie. And now they have the time to reset. That is Baron. Hey, good play by CLG. Let's give him credit where it's due.
Yeah,
it's been...
CLG is playing great. I'm just so disappointed in Immortals because they're like they rolled over and died 20 minutes ago. Now we're just waiting for the coroner here to announce the time of death at 4 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, there's some place in the world where no one officially dies there. They got to take them to the hospital first and then pronounce them dead. So we're doing one of those without name dropping.
Somebody call a doctor.
Someone. Azael!
I'm here.
Why isn't Mark Z on the cast with you? You guys could have done it and pronounced them dead at the scene. Sadly, I don't have that power.
You don't have the credentials.
I don't. I don't. But Immortals are in the river. They're ready to look for the fight. GPO comes down. This is probably the engage. They try to run away, take a slow. No fight just yet. CLG get to walk into the river. Broxa leads the front line. Demonte nearby. The squad's ready to go. Immortals having to fight against a Baron buff.
Nice little bit of poke, though.
For the Dragon. Okay, yes, Varus poke is nice. Syndra can do the same. As long as Smoothie is watching, he can always ult and block a lot of the Syndra damage. He's got a Locket as well. It's going to be a smite fight. Is it going to be a battle? CLG probably don't want to give the chance at a Xerxes smite. I think they can just run in with the Diana, but they're going to risk it. They're going to risk the coin flip, and it's going to be just arrowed away. CLG, that felt a little weird, but there we go. He's in for the pullback, and how about the follow through? Revenge is onto the side. Wild Turtle being attacked. Wild Turtle is going to stay alive. The team's got the shell for him. It's a 1 kill to nothing. Dragon given away, but now it's going to push the base.
It's still in Immortals' favor, though. You've got to say you're willing to give that 1 kill to actually prevent the soul. You know, if you're going to engage as CLG, though, just engage before it goes down. Try to push them back. Instead, they do wait. They go for the 50-50. Raze does grab it in this case, but they have the Baron buff. They are pushing here. Gonna knock down a tier 2 as well. Brox is pushing out topside. They'll take away some jungle camps, so they will look to extend the advantage. And Immortals staving off defeat there. Will hold on.
Okay. I mean, it's good to show that they can contest that like they
Absolutely.
can make CLG fearful in a world where they're down 6,000 gold and a Baron buff of worth of stats?
Yep. And so here it is once more. You know, the arrow comes through. The smite not used there by Broxa, so smite came through from the other side. They do grab it at the very least. CLG was able to force out some summoners. You know, flashes off Varus. That is a really big one. He's going to have a very difficult time staying alive in this next fight. You can avoid the engage if you have your flash available. But without it, it's so tough unless your teammates can really step forward when they move towards you and kind of create that buffer, create that space. CLG, though, pushing. This is the last wave here with Baron. Damonte almost on 3 items. He has the stopwatch. He has that late game range here at level 16. So is trying to siege, but CLG not able to get anything done there. They're pushing on mid side, though, because all 5 members from Immortals did go towards top.
Under attack, good damage here. Not going to finish the turret just yet, but it was good damage. Again, the Red Bull Baron power play. We're sitting at 8,000 gold almost now as a result. Top lane tier 2 falls. That will indeed now be the gold lead. CLG have 2.5 to the next objective as Baron comes up. Dragon Soul in 3. And how much more slowly will they play it? CLG playing it really, really patiently. They have yet to go for dives. They almost have given too much respect in some cases. Again, that Dragon, they really kind of just refuse to walk into the opponents.
But honestly, like, I don't really have much to criticize on CLG's side because Immortals is just willing to give you everything, right? So it's like, if they're willing to give you all the jungle and every objective, then like, sure, right? You can play it slow. I do agree, you know, maybe they could have just executed more early, especially at that Dragon and ended the game. But like, I mean, they're 8,000 plus gold ahead now.
Yeah.
You know, the lead is extending. They were given a free Baron. The Baron is coming back up. So they're in a great spot. You know, and I feel like they have less pressure on them compositionally. Trist is now to a great point. GP and Trist, both 3+ items. The Kalista's on 4 items, ridiculously strong. So I think they're in a great spot. Immortals, it's going to take some sort of a miracle fight here. We'll see if CLG forces the issue or if it's just going to be another fight around this Soul in 2 minutes or maybe the Baron here in 130. As Revenge is very far up. We'll see if Turtle wants to move up.
Big damage here. Revenge has final ult. Good sidestep. Finn gets away from the damage. If that ult had landed, Finn was dead to the Q.
Coming.
So Revenge feeling good about a side lane as Finn is obviously built very, very squishy. How about the rest, though? Turtle is on the way. Big damage from Finn as he knocks down the wave. Qs for the move speed yet again. And
Smoothie's behind him, too. So they're going for the long chase here. And we'll see if Revenge can actually turn it at all. Because if he just keeps running straight, Smoothie is going to arrive.
Nice. Turtle's like happy to melee the man, though. Has a wit's end, makes it pretty safe. And, you know, it's going to try to guess the Q spots, gets the solo kill. Yeah, a lot of work was done by Finn, but well done to Wild. Turtle level 17 now, taking down the Gwen.
I like the attempt, though, from Revenge. Like, if you can actually stay on Finn, there's just no shot GP wins that late game all in. You just get out-sustained. You do get burst down. So good attempt there by Revenge. They need to go for something. They are just slowly losing this game. Finn, though, had the flash available. You know, they're not really making use of the fact that the Ghost is a lower cooldown. They're not consistently trying to tax these summoners, tax these resources. So they get the chase down, they get the kill, and again, we're just looking towards Baron. We are looking towards this Infernal Soul here. Baron's up in 15, CLG gonna look to seal the deal here. We'll see if they can get it.
Revenge will have teleport the instant Baron spawns, basically, so he can join in for a 5-on-5. Right now, Finn on Gangplank on the far side of the map. He's walking through mid right now. Baron's alive in a second. CLG making sure they cross their T's, dot the I's, knock down the wave. And there indeed is Revenge's teleport into the mid lane. So, here we go. Is there much of a Baron rush? I don't think Immortals want to give it away. And remember, they won the fight last time off the fact that Raze had the Varus snipe. All those cooldowns are back up, including his flash. GP ult to zone them, but Xerxes is already over the wall. CLG need a better setup than just hitting the Baron and hoping Fog of War does its job. Xerxes can ult in. Is it a steal? Of course it is!
Raze gets it again!
Of course he does! The definition of insanity is to be the mid laner of Immortals, and for CLG is to play an objective without any map control. But a TP comes in to push for the base. They're gonna go ahead and have Finn try to knock down top lane inhibitor turret.
They're gonna lose Dragon too, because off this play, CLG are all on the top side of the map, so they're not even gonna get Infernal Soul.
What the hell are CLG doing? They got nothing! Just fight them!
I don't get why they're not hard engaging. Instead of just using the GP ult to zone, just drop it on their head, flash in on Broxa, ult on his head on Galliot. Like, they have such an easy comp to engage with.
Azale, I turn around, there's still a screen in front of me.
There is.
No matter what I do, I'm watching CLG barely play League of Legends.
I mean, they're up 7K.
And they're barely playing League of Legends, Azael! Just fight them! Please!
Yeah.
I don't want to say it again, Azael! This clip went on Reddit like 12 months ago about how CLG just didn't do anything. I want them to do things. I know they're winning a gold lead. It's not all negative. I know they're winning this game, but the last 10 minutes are so heartbreaking.
Absolutely, and I mean it's both teams, right? You know, Immortals is not forcing the issue on anything. CLG is not sealing the deal at the Baron or at the Soul. I mean, they've had 2 shots at Soul now. The second one was just given away for free after that Baron.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I understand the thought process of, we have Kalista, we have Smite, let's secure this. So they obviously messed up their combo, and they actually failed to do that. But I agree, you have such a strong 5v5 composition. You literally built this with GP Diana Galio to have this really easy go button, and they're just not doing it. So it's a very disappointing play here, you know, from CLG playing from the advantage, and also from Immortals, to be honest, you know, just kind of giving over a lot of free advantages. It doesn't feel like Immortals are getting any closer to winning this game.
Yeah, I have seen, you know, glimpses from Immortals, and to be fair, glimpses of CLG as well, right? Like, the bot lane dive at 3 was a very good play. They were on Dragon every single time after the first one. On time, they're ready to go. Like, those were there as well, so that's been good. You know, a few times Immortals have tried the cross map. We know Revenge versus Finn could look really, really good for Revenge. So round 2, when Ghost is up in about a minute, like, this might look really stellar. But yeah, it has been few and far between. It has been a fairly slow game. And hey, shout out Raze, 2 really good snipes in a row to claim crucial objectives. He denied Soul, he claimed Baron, which denied Soul again as a result. So we can look at the positives for sure and say, look, a lot of things could have been, but what we have right now is a Baron buff for Immortals, a 2,600 gold lead, and only 1,500 of that is the Baron itself, ready to go for more. Smoothie burns the Zonias. Now,
Melissa's not there.
Yeah, so he can hold the W, does not have flash, he's running for his life. GPO comes in, redive. This could be the fight. Destiny gonna burn his Zonias. Xerxes the same. Revenge zoning them out, and it's gonna be a walk away for Immortals. Bot lane tier 2 is gone. 3,300 gold now earned off that Baron.
Yeah, I mean, CLG at this point, you gotta be sweating a little bit. If you lose this game, like, this is one of the worst throws I've seen in a long time, it feels like. And Revenge is pushing up here. They are sieging aggressively.
Turtle cleanses. He'll walk away, staying alive. Bottom inhibitor turret is now dead. And slowly, yes, Xerxes is on his way up from
the flank
bottom
for
he's their homie, though. So just waiting now with their 5th teammate here. Cool. Hey, by the way, I just want you to know, yeah, we did this 4v5 the whole time. Ooh, big damage. Ulti forced to keep Galio safe. Revenge to the front line. And they're going for Brook. They're going for the game right now. Immortals still on a gigantic gold deficit, hoping to end the game. Nexus turrets can't run away. CLG's champions sure have. And one's already gone. Finn walks up, but he's built so squishy he can't frontline. Revenge walks away. In the last 12 seconds, the Baron's buff. We have gotten a 4,000 gold Baron power play out of Immortals. They have taken a tower lead. And they were still down gold the whole time. Signs of life from the blue team.
CLG, come on, get it together. Let's see if they can get anything here. Next objective, 2.5. Still yet to see them really execute on it. But Immortals, you know, good job to them. Sieging aggressively with the Baron. You know, getting a lot from that. They got the big steal from Raze. They go down bot lane. They take a Nexus turret. They take an inhibitor. They've gotten more than CLG has gotten done this whole game, really. Here's the flip the switch replay here from Roccat. Snipe over the wall. Just mistimed. And again, at both of those objectives, Broxa did not use his smite. You know, at the Infernal Soul, 50-50. At the Baron, 50-50. No smite used. Was the Rend used?
Xerxes smited. Xerxes smited an arrow hit.
Closely. Was Rend even used?
Not that I saw.
Okay, we can see the arrows in it, so we'll be able to see.
Smite, arrow.
So literally no Rend used, no smite used on the CLG side. So
big damage. Goodbye to Smoothie. Goodbye to Smoothie. Now he's going to respawn before the next neutral, but top lane tier 2 is going to be attacked. How much do they get? Because it is an objective 5v4. Finn is recalling.
I'm starting to feel like Immortals are going to win this game, Freak, and that is crazy to think when you have watched the position that CLG has been playing from. But you know, you just lost your support. Immortals have shown they're willing to play aggressively. They were going for the Nexus with that Baron, and now they are pushing heavily on the top side. I would not be shocked to see them go aggressive here in the 5v4. We'll see if CLG can hold on, and if Immortals want to look for the play.
Big stun. Broxa has the Zonias, Turtle a bit low, GP ult pop, but they have to wait for the Galio. Thankfully, he has a global, right? So if you find the fight within 2 seconds, ult's on top, you get the battle. Ultimately, Not going to be much more. They save the Nexus turrets. There's one down, but the second one's still alive. They save the inhibitor turret in the top side, and we're going to get the reset. Baron in a minute 7. Infernal Soul in 35 seconds. CLG, you have seen what happens when you play it slow. I need to see them in. Need to see Broxa start the fight, have Galio follow up, and trust his team has it. Broxa needs to fight.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I mean, CLG are playing like a defeated team, and they've been playing from the advantage the whole time. So we've got to see them play with some confidence here. Look for an engage. Take the fight. Don't just 50-50 this Dragon. A nice little barrel there, but Poe coming back from Varus as well, and it's Immortals playing more aggressive.
Well, Revenge buys a lot of space. Finn at half HP. Smoothie can't even land the taunt because he walks out of the circle before letting go, despite just taking the CC, which could have been done. Forces Zonies. Anything else? No. Demonte forced off down to 1,000 health, and CLG, goodbye. You've given away the Dragon. Maybe the team fight as well. Smoothie is dead, while Turtle jumps the wall. CLG has decided nothing in this game is worth fighting for, and they will give away their 3rd straight Dragon by not getting themselves into a team fight. Immortals have gotten the last 4 straight objectives. This one is theirs.
It just feels like a defeated team, honestly. I mean, this is a situation where CLG feels like a mental block. They just feel like they're losing the whole time. They're not willing to actually commit to anything at this point. It's kind of crazy. 3 straight Dragons given over. They were nearly at a 10,000 gold lead.
Yeah.
And have been unwilling to take a fight the whole time. And this is just so disappointing to see from CLG. You know, this is an organization that...
They've got 2 banners!
Yeah, they were at the top of North America, 5 years ago, really. And it's kind of sad to see where they've come to today. This is a very disappointing game from them. It's been a very disappointing run from them in the last 10, 12 games. And they're going to give up this Baron here. They're not going to face check it. They're not going to look for the fight. Immortals are climbing closer and closer to the victory here.
All right, here we go. 3rd Baron of the game, the 2nd for Immortals. And I'm going to say Immortals find a way to close the game out during this buff. They've been more aggressive. They've been willing to walk up. I will say Revenge has done a great job of building space. Right, comes in, hits the W. Suddenly the double marksman can't hit him. The GP can't hit him. Puts the ultis in, forces someone out. Leona's ready to go. Destiny's in there. The Raze and Insanity have the follow-up. It's been good, and obviously you know if the fight starts well, Xerxes is going to clean them up with the resets. So here we go. Turtle on wave clear, but is done buying items. It is a max build Callista. Still a little bit of room to go on Raze's Varus. Gold deficit still there of 2,500. But it's 3 Dragons to 3, and we know the Soul is up in 3.5.
I mean, CLG have items. Like, you look at the compositions, you look at the items, it's like, yeah, they could win a fight, but they just haven't been willing to go for anything. So we'll see if they can turn it around here. I mean, if they can find the correct engage, if they can play with some confidence here, they could still win this game. I mean, you have a nearly full item GP, you got a full build Callista, the Tristana is really big. Like, they have the pieces here. We just need to see them execute on it. But Immortals have been playing much better in the last 20 minutes. They have been playing with confidence. They have been playing with aggression here. And I've pulled back a game that was looking completely doomed for them.
Yeah.
And, you know, they are now clearly in the driver's seat. Just the way that they are playing, positioning their characters, they're looking so much more confident than CLG. And CLG posturing like they're unwilling to fight for this, so they will be giving up the inhibitor, but mid is being pushed in.
Yeah, big damage out of Gwen. Revenge gonna push Finn right out of his own base. Ulti comes across, force the flash again, sidesteps. Demonte is down, and that's what Immortals needed. They never said die. 5-5 the kills, but it's a 5v2 inside the base. Down to 1, while Turtle has a Guardian Angel and nobody cares. The base can't retreat, and CLG go home without a win.
Good job by Immortals taking that one, but damn, that was honestly straight up shameful from CLG. Playing for a 10,000 gold lead, not being willing to take any of the fights. Immortals hanging on, playing it well, and honestly, they played way more confidently than CLG throughout the game.
Yeah.
Even when Immortals was playing down so much gold, Raze getting the 2 objective steals, that was huge, but failed execution on the other side. No rend used, no smite used in those objective steals, and Immortals playing with confidence from a disadvantageous position, clawing their way back in a game that honestly they had no business winning here.
Yeah.
I mean, CLG was at soul point and nearly 10,000 gold ahead with a Baron that was given over to them uncontested. And they never once did they even do a Diana plus Galio plus GP. You know, like that is kind of like the bread and butter of this composition where, you know, you GP ults on these immobile carries, you send in the Diana, the Galio ults in. Never once in the entire game did we see that executed from them. And even while they're playing with a gold lead here, they just seem to be, you know, not having the confidence to engage.
I want a Smoothie ult count. I literally can't remember one. I'm sure he probably cast it.
He definitely used one in the first Infernal Soul contested one in the pit.
Okay.
It was defensive
That's
ulti.
right. He
for
helped
sure
defend
did that.
Turtle. He did it for Turtle as he was getting fought by Gwen. But that's the one I can remember from the entire game. It was good to keep Turtle alive. I think he might have ended the game deathless. The first half of that game was CLG crushing, and the second half of the game was CLG AFK. And that's, you know, good job by Immortals to find the counterpunch.
Yeah.
But, like, it is a deflating game to watch.
It's hard to feel good about it on either side because Immortals, you know, didn't really contest anything early. You gave up a lot of advantages. They weren't really being super proactive. But CLG, I mean, I guess they had the right of it, right? It's like they were kind of just waiting for CLG to mess up,
waiting.
and CLG did.
They fought it Soul. They fought when they absolutely had to.
Yeah.
And hey, good job Raze, good job Xerxes, good job to the squad to come away with the win. Immortals deserved that victory. Now on the other side, Lit Tigers and Revenge will be diving into that match in our Verizon post-game interview. So we'll see you there.
It all comes down to this one last dragon fight to call the whole game. Boom! Look at the damage on the wombo combo. All 5 enemy players down. GG!
Yeah. All of my life, man, they counted me out. Not many people are doubting me now. Even some legends are shouting me out. I promise there's nobody stopping me now. My haters look angry, I'm popping. My name will never be forgotten. Running this game, I ain't jogging. Opponents know that I'm a problem. Ay, always considered the underdog. That is just crazy talk. Don't you be sleeping on me. Promise my skill isn't under y'all. I win the one-on-one win is the reason I breathe. No one believed in my vision, but my vision crystal clear from the beginning. I've seen my competition can't handle me. Greatest of all time, I am just destined to be. I came to win. They all know that I came to win. I came to win. Step on the stage, I'll amaze again. I came to win. They all know that I came to win. I came to win. Step on the stage.
welcome back to the LCS. We kicked off today with an Immortals victory, and to talk about it, I am joined by top laner Revenge. Now, that was a game of some inaction, a bit of a deficit that took a complete reversal. How did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we were down like 10K gold or something about that.
Yeah,
something around that,
somewhere
and we
around there.
still won. So, I mean, going into the game, we knew we were against the worst team, and we kind of just wanted, to make sure we did not lose. I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, we fell so behind, but during the game, most of us just still knew like they're gonna find a way to throw. So, I don't know what else to say. Like, I didn't really feel that nervous in the game, to be honest. Like, I was just farming. I'm playing Gwen. I don't know what more to say.
It sounds like there's a lot being said and thought about during the game. We are in the final weeks before we head into that playoff territory. So how much are you all, when you're focused on the Rift, kind of balancing that with thinking about where you are in the standings, who you're facing as an opponent, and how much there is on the line?
Well, I mean, right now, my greatest concern, like today, for example, was not losing to CLG, because the last thing I want to do is get Bud Light aced by my coach. And like, I mean, it's fine. Like, you know, the end of the season is a little stressful, but like, I was pretty confident that if we won today, you know, everything will be okay. But other than that, I mean, yeah, standings are really important for us. We really want to get top 6, because like, I think having at least two chances to play in playoffs is always really nice. Like, I've never been in a playoffs before, so I don't really know how it'll be. I think it'll be, you know, really stressful and also really fun at the same time. So like, I want to have as much experience to show myself and show how good of a team we are in a best of 5 scenario, because there's so much like dumb things that happen in best of 1s that just kind of ruin games. And I think that's happened in spring and summer to so many teams. So.
Is there anything that you're doing as a team to not just get through these best of 1s, but also get yourself prepared for that best of 5 territory, especially as you just said, it'll be your first time doing so?
Yeah, I mean, some nights we play Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies. You know, it relieves the stress. I really like the map Doris on the DLC. We just we just play for fun, and you know, like play at night, relieve the stress. Like, I don't know. My point is we just don't want to get too stressed out. Like, it's the end of the season, and like everyone's freaking out about standings and how good or bad they are. Like, and just like, I think for us, the main thing is we know we're a good team, and we just don't want to let it affect us. And I just think that when we enter playoffs, we want to be in our best possible mental. And that's like, I think just being relaxed as a team is the best thing we can do for that right now.
Really quickly, first name to come to mind, who is the best player when you're taking it cool and shooting off the Rift?
Of course, me. But then I'd say like second is probably Insanity.
All right.
Yep.
That's all I needed to know. Revenge, thank you for stopping on by here on the stage.
Yep. Thank you.
We're going to kick it to a break, but when we return, you can see right behind us, we got TSM on one side, we got Team Liquid on the other. Applause all around. We'll get you right and ready for it. See you there.